What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be doing some channel updates and giving you my top knives of 2020. These are going to be categorical, some different categories of the top knives that I have actually handled. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. So today, we are going to be doing the top knives of 2020. Now, there was a ton of awesome stuff that came out this year. I was not able to get my hands on everything. So my top knives of 2020 list is going to be those that I've actually handled. You've probably seen quite a few of these, but I'm also going to do them in categories, which we will go over. I think I have one that I think is taking the cake, and we will go over that, but I wanted to do some categories of the top knives, such as budget knives under a certain amount, different sizes, those kinds of things, because I think a lot of people are looking for something different, not just necessarily, okay, this knife is the best, that's it kind of thing. So that's what we're going to try to do. Also, we're doing some channel updates. At my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, giveaway and video that I did, I was very adamant about not doing the monetization. And the reason for that is because I just don't agree a lot of the times with YouTube and the way that they do certain things. However, YouTube is kind of taking that choice away, kind of. So basically, I didn't want, ads on the channel. Never was in this to monetize anyway. However, the ads are going to be coming in 2021, whether I am monetized or not. And that kind of disappoints me. But, so I've been talking to some really close friends, namely Jake from Bearded Gear and Lefty EDC, because if you watch my channel and those guys' channel, you know that we are really close. And I have made the decision that I will be monetizing the channel because they're going to be ads anyway. So, yeah, there is still some control that I'm going to have, but I don't know much about that. Jake over at Bearded Gear is definitely going to help me because he's such a great dude. Oh, and check this out. Here's his new sticker, by the way. Isn't that awesome? I love this. I love the sticker. But anyways, yeah, that's the news. I will be doing monetizations, and probably some other stuff. Once you're past 1,000 subscribers, which I'm like right at 1,400 right now, you can do live stuff, and I don't know how that will work out. But yeah, I'm really excited about what 2021 has to offer and that what we will be doing. We're going to have a lot of fun. I really appreciate every single one of you. Now, all right, enough rambling. Let's get to some knives. All right, so like I said, we're going to do some categories. And I really wanted to do it this way because I just don't know if I could pick just one knife to win 2020. And a lot of times because I just didn't get to handle everything. So just the stuff that I've handled that you have seen on the channel. So first off, we're going to do the best budget knives best budget knife under $100, okay? So we're talking, $50 to $100. And the best budget knife that I have handled might surprise you, but it is the Ferrum Forge Stinger. This little thing surprised the heck out of me, and you guys are going to be like, what? That's kind of a small knife, Cal. You are not a small knife guy. You are correct. This thing, though, out of some of the other smaller knives that I have handled, really took me by surprise, and I kind of fell in love with it. Now, I usually will carry this as a backup knife because my primary is always going to be a larger knife. But this thing, as far as the flipping action, is so snappy. It's made with Nitro V steel. I love the design and the ergonomics because you guys know I love a forward finger choil. So this knife is very comfortable in hand with that forward finger choil where I can feel like I've got a great grip even though it's a smaller knife. It is a liner lock. The jimping is done very well. It's just a very comfortable, very slicey blade. And so this one I had to do best budget knife, between $50 and $100. This thing usually retails about like $90, but on Chicago Knife Works, I found this for $75, and I'm pretty sure they still have them there. So $75 all day, every day. I really, really love this knife. It's just a wonderful design. It does have a deep carry pocket clip, where everything is sunk down below, countersunk and whatnot. Just really, really nice. I mean, I was very surprised on how much fun this knife is to carry, how useful it is. I can, because of that little fuller right there, do the reverse flick. So, I mean, it has everything that I like in a smaller knife. And so this one is definitely one that won the category between $50 and $100 budget knife. So we have a couple other budget knives. The best budget knife that's under $30, or around $30, is, I'm gonna have to put a picture up here because I don't have one with me, the QSP Penguin. The QSP Penguin I had on the channel was a gift, basically from Lefty EDC, saying, hey man, I know you probably know somebody who needs a knife, who's wanted to carry a knife, somebody who's not a knife person. This is a great one. See if you have any. And it was perfect because I had somebody in mind right off the bat, and he's been very, very thankful to get the knife. The QSP Penguin is just an excellent, you feel like you have much more value in your hand than the price that you pay. So the QSP Penguin, definitely the best budget knife under $30 that I could find. It is just amazing. The next budget knife, this one is under the $50 category, and it's still not much more expensive than the QSP Penguin. That is the CJRB. I have to slow down because I always say that wrong. CJRB Felspar. I'm telling you, if you've seen my videos, you know how much I love this knife. It seriously is one of my absolute favorite budget knives. The price that you pay for this guy is just ridiculous for how much value you're getting. Now, this one is ND2. It has an amazing thumb stud action. It kind of falls, shakes shut, so the action on it for bearings, very, very nice. It just is one amazing, amazing budget knife with contoured G10 handles, which is done absolutely well. It does have a deep carry pocket clip, which works good. The only complaint I had was the big old button screws that they use. But other than that, this thing so surprised me, and I love this knife so very much. And I'm probably going to send, if you saw my video with BJ Hill, his modifications to Lefty EDCs, where he put the hole in there. I'm thinking about doing that just because I just love, but I'm telling you, I almost don't want to because the thumb stud action on this thing is that good. So very slicey blade. It just is beautiful for the price. So the CJRB Felspar takes it for the under $50 category. So now, this category is really has anything to do with price. It's basically the best small EDC knife. Now, small is a relative term. For me, it's probably a little bit bigger than a lot of you guys would say small. But one of them I have here, and the other one I do not. So the first one that I say is the best small EDC knife is the Quiet Carry Waypoint. This knife has just blown me out of the water as far as, this thing's $300, okay? So it's not a cheap, it's about, it's a little under $300, but it is just amazing as an EDC knife. It has wonderful grinds, thin blade, so it is very slicey. Van X super clean steel, which has just turned out to be one of my favorite steels, and we need to see more of it because I absolutely love this stuff. There's plenty of videos on YouTube of people, including Jake from Bearded Gear, putting this thing in lemonade, salt water. I mean, it's got marine grade hardware with an LC200 in liner. So it is basically, it is basically rust proof. A lot of people have tried it and it just does not rust. So, I mean, a lot of people, some people don't, live in an area where you absolutely have to have that. But with this Van X Super Clean Steel, the edge retention is so good that you get really good edge retention and the stainless properties that I just think anybody anywhere would be able to use this knife and absolutely fall in love with it. It is super freaking snappy with that thumb stud. Like, it rockets out of there like crazy. I love the thumb stud action. It is not a fall shut knife. It is just a very smooth action with a wonderful detent. And yeah, this knife is just absolutely, I think, a perfect EDC knife for most everybody. Wonderful wire deep carry pocket clip, just excellent. So this is definitely having to be on my list. The other one that was basically kind of tied for this one for a smaller EDC knife is, I don't have one here, but we'll put it right there, is the wonderful ProTech Malibu. I was able to handle the Malibu because of, yet again, Mr. Jake from over at Bearded Gear. He had the reverse Tonto, as you see there. And holy moly, button lock flippers, guys, are really fun. This one in particular is about perfect in every way. A lot of them have just a little bit lazy of a flipper, and the detent is just this one falls shut like crazy. It is totally just the perfect dial detent for the flipping action on any other button lock flipper that I have handled. There's one that kind of came close, and it was a whole lot less expensive, which was the Orion Knives. But the Orion Knives Solaris is actually, you can almost buy them. I think in January or February, something like that, you can buy them. But as far as just an amazing piece to carry with you on a daily basis, the ProTech Malibu has enough blade length. It's just a super snappy, fun knife, and I was just blown away. I really didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but yes, it is that good. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, let's talk about a traditional. Okay, so I'm not a traditional guy, but this knife did come out in 2020, and I didn't think it did. But as far as traditional knives go, this has been my favorite that I've really ever handled, and this is the Civivi Rustic Gent. This knife, I love this knife. Now, there's a few different reasons. Now, it's a traditional style knife. It is a lockback. It's not a slip joint or anything like that. So a lot of the real traditional guys are going to be like, that's not a traditional knife. And I get it. It's just what I call a traditional knife. It has beautiful G10 and carbon fiber. This is a D2 blade, but it has this really long Fuller/nail nick. I'm able to pinch this guy out and open it one-handed. And then, of course, this wonderful half stop, even on a backlock, that just works so freaking well. And it comes with a slip, with a pocket clip. So you can actually put this thing in your pocket with that, and it works really well. You notice that I do have a lanyard because getting it out of the slip in your pocket is kind of a chore. So the lanyard does help me to be able to get this thing out of the pocket, and then I just slip it back in there. So this one is definitely taking the cake for traditional style knives. Now, keep in mind, I am not a traditional guy. I have not handled hardly any. So, but this one, it just really took me by storm, and I do carry this, and I love it. I love the blade shape, this clip point style blade. I mean, it really is an amazing cutter and just an amazing companion to have on you for an EDC knife. So this one kind of takes it for the traditional style category. And now let's get into the two knives that I really it just blew me away this year. So the best larger or full-size EDC knife that I handled this year has definitely got to be the Giant Mouse Ace Grand. I, again, was able to handle this knife by my good buddy Jake over at Bearded Gear, who is just an excellent dude. He sent me his Grand, and I got that thing in hand, and I immediately messaged him and was like, I want to buy this knife. I can't, they're all sold out. I want to buy this knife. Give it to me. And he was like, no. I offered him a ridiculous amount of money for this knife, and he wouldn't sell it. And it was a good reason, because he loves this knife, and I do too. This thing is just amazing. Now, not all Giant Mouse knives are like that for me. I've also tried the Biblio, the Nimbus version 2. Neither one of those knives really did it for me. This one, however, is just amazing. The detent with the reverse flick and this opening hole, holes are greater than studs, as Jake from Beater Gear would say. So this is definitely, the micarta that they do is second to none. You can kind of already see it getting a little darker in spots, so as you carry it, it changes color. The ergonomics are just wonderful. The crown spine and the jimping that Giant Mouse does on their knives, I wish everybody would do it. I really, really do. It makes for a wonderful, wonderful experience, because this is where, right there where that jimping is where my thumb lands to be able to hold this knife to do work. It has an amazing stone washed finish. Oh, with the handles, the titanium, the pocket clip that does go to the butt of the knife. I mean, there's just really not much to go wrong here. The action on this is pretty new, so the action and detent on this guy is still great, but I know that over time that this thing will probably drop shut even better than it does right now. It takes a few little shakes, but yeah, I can thumb flick this guy. I can use the index finger. It's such a fun, useful, wicked sharp tool that I love to carry. I absolutely love handling this thing. It fits my hand like a glove, and it is amazing. So Elmax Steel, the Giant Mouse Ace Grand, definitely one of the best EDC knives of 2020. All right, best for last, I guess. The overall best knife that I have handled this year of 2020 has to be the Demco 8020. This thing just is amazing. Why is it amazing? It is you guys know me. I do like the bigger knives, but this is actually not like crazy big. I mean, let's put it up against the Grand. I mean, you can see it's definitely bigger, but it is not crazy, crazy big. It is a big knife though. And for me, I like the big knives. This thing with the Shark Lock, the wonderful G10 construction, functional pocket clip, doesn't sit deep carry, but you guys know I don't care about that. This Shark Lock is just the absolute most fun way to open a knife ever created. I mean, you can just use the Shark Lock to whip that thing out. This one does have the hole, so you can do the reverse flick. It has the thumb stud, so you can do the thumb flick. I mean, it is so much fun. This one in particular is in 3V steel, which is exactly what I wanted. I actually purchased this knife from my buddy Lefty EDC because he had one. He kind of wanted one in 20 CV, and so 3V is exactly what I wanted, so I ended up purchasing this from him. Wonderful stone wash finish. You guys know I love a stone wash finish. Just a tank of a knife that is a workhorse and a fidget toy. It just clicks all the boxes for me. This knife is very hard to get out of my pocket because I have so much fun every single time that I carry this, because I can deploy it in any way possible and then just play with this. And then when I need a tool that can do some work, 3V's very tough steel. I love having that steel on a knife to do hard work, even though I don't really do hard work with my knives because I work in an office setting, but just excellent. Even the jimping, look at this very close, tight jimping that goes all the way up. So it just fits the hand perfectly, and you're locked in, and it's just amazing. Andrew Demko is a genius. Okay, that's just all there is to it. He hit the nail on the head with this design, and it is my favorite knife of 2020. So guys, that's it. I mean, it was not really hard to do this because I did it in categories, because I kind of cheated. A lot of people did not do that. A lot of people were we're basically trying to pick one and just pick it. And I didn't want to do that. I've tried to do that in the past. It just doesn't work out. Call me a pansy. That's fine because that's exactly what it was. But these knives, as far as those categories that I just laid out, I really think you will not be able to go wrong with any of these purchases. If you were looking for any of the kind of style knives that we've talked about, these things are amazing. As far as price, none of them are overpriced. I think all of them are at a spot where they need to be. Definitely, you know, you're talking about a $425 knife, $300, about a $200 knife, $35, $65, and about 75 to 90, depending on where you get it. So a lot of range here. If you're looking for a wonderful, wonderful blade, pick one that is kind of fits your style, you know, your size. And then if you don't know that, then go with one of the budget knives. Carry it for a while. See what you think. You've got different blade steels here. Guys, it's so much fun to be able to get a cutting tool in your hand that you like, that it works well, and of course, you know, us knife guys, we like to fidget, so some of these on the board are fidgety, and some of them are not, but they are all great tools. Guys, I love you all. Remember that my channel will be changing. I will be monetizing because of the craziness which is YouTube and going into the rules of 2021. So, but you know, please stick around. You know, I'm going to try to get it as minimal on the ads as possible. You know, but, you know, some of the money that might be made with the channel is going to go directly back in the channel. You guys know I do giveaways a lot, so that will help with the giveaways that I do. And, yeah, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and I love you all. From the bottom of my heart, everybody who has supported me. I have only been doing this since March, so about 9 months, and it has just been an amazing ride. Amazing. You guys are great. Stay safe in this crazy world we're living in. It's almost over, guys. 2020 is almost over. Stay tuned. Or don't stay tuned. I'm leaving. I'm done. Go away. I'm done. This is it. This is all that's happening. Bye. I gotta put these up now. Love you all.